So, Liberty Media are in a bit of hot water over their rejection of Andretti as a constructor in Formula One. Let's have a look at this, because we did bring you a while ago that I think it was the US Congress was actually looking into the decisions and the real reasons behind Andretti being rejected by Formula One to join the grid as an 11th team. Now, I've already spoke at length about this and my opinion and everything, and I will give my opinion after I've read this article out. Shout out to Philip Clearan over on motorsport.com for covering this. That's the article I'm reading from this one. So, the Formula One owner Liberty Media is facing an antitrust probe over the Andretti rejection. The US Department of Justice is officially looking into Formula One owner Liberty Media's rejection of Andretti Global. Liberty Media has announced that it is facing an investigation by the US Department of Justice over rejecting Andretti Global's Formula One bid. CEO Greg Maffei confirmed in a quarterly earnings call that the company owning Formula One is officially being probed by the Justice Department's antitrust division over the legality of F1 refusing entry to Michael Andretti's team. So yeah, basically it wasn't the Congress, it was the Department of Justice that are looking into this, because Liberty Media are an American company and Andretti, of course, are an American company as well. It's a US internal matter effectively. And now the official reason was that the teams rejected them, the teams didn't want them to be there, but yeah, there's some shady dealings and stuff like that allegedly going on. But again, I'll give my opinion at the end of this. Partnering General Motors brand Cadillac, Andretti has long been pushing for a Formula One entry as an 11th team, setting up a Silverstone base and going on a widespread recruiting spree, which includes former F1 man Pat Symonds. And while the FIA accepted Andretti Global's bid on the technical level, F1 itself has kept the door shut on the American powerhouse because it didn't feel that Andretti could become competitive in the medium term and therefore wouldn't provide enough commercial value to the series, which was, at the time, was a decision that I found farcical. I mean, I said that, they've allowed Haas in and Haas were not competitive, although since then Haas have become quite competitive this season. But, you've got Sauber at the moment, which I would not say very competitive. They have 0 points this season. And to say that Andretti can't compete before they've even tried to compete is ridiculous. They have a proven track record in other series like IndyCar. They're a very successful outfit, and to say that they can't compete is downright disrespectful and a lie, in my opinion. And that is why they're being probed by the Justice Department. F1 teams have also been reluctant to accept Andretti because they would have to share the prize pool with an additional entrant. And yeah, this is part of my opinion, what I give about this as well. Formula One, in my opinion, is a cartel. Now, the thing is, the FIA, they let them in. They said, yeah, you can come in. But Formula One, and this is the thing that people have to understand, Formula One is an entity to itself. But when it comes to decisions like this, Formula One is the 10 teams that you see. When we say that F1 have rejected them, it's not Dominicali and people like that. Yes, they might have an opinion, they might have a sway on things, but it's ultimately the 10 teams that decide whether they allow Andretti in, and that is a fundamental flaw, in my opinion, when it comes to actually allowing these teams in. I don't think it's fair that they should do that, because why would they want Andretti in? Why would they? Formula One is growing massively without Andretti, and to have an 11th team in there, yes, it would mean that the prize fund is diluted. And all these teams are saying, oh, we're losing money, we're doing this out, we're competing for the love of the sport. No, not at all. You're in Formula One to make money. They all are. That's just a fact. Just be honest about it. They are a business at the end of the day. They're all private entities. They're not in it for the love of the sport. Those days are gone. Those days are dead. With the exception of maybe McLaren and Ferrari, but even them, they're in it for the money. And if it wasn't profitable for them in some way, if it wasn't good for them overall, they wouldn't do it. Simple as that. Ferrari's, threatened to leave Formula One more times than you can count over the years. Yeah, so Maffei said that Liberty Media would cooperate with the US Department of Justice and was confident F1 hasn't breached any US regulations. So yeah, this is the thing, they are apparently in breach of regulations. We don't know what's going to happen with this in terms of, this going to court or whatever like that. But yeah, they're being probed now, they're being investigated, and from that investigation, they might decide to go to court. They might decide there's nothing there, nothing illicit, so just carry on, keep calm and carry on, lads. So we're going to see what's happening with this. It's not going to be a quick process. It's, justice moves slowly with these things usually. It'll take a good few months for them to go through all this most likely. But yeah, my take on it all is that I think Andretti actually should be allowed into Formula One, and I think it's farcical they've not been allowed to. Formula One should be crying out for teams like Andretti to come into the sport. You know, they're not HRT, they're not, you know, Virgin Racing, they're not 40. You know, this is an established historic name in motorsport. When you think of Andretti, you think of American racing. Michael Andretti, Mario Andretti, absolute greats of their sport. Mario, of course, a Formula One world champion in 1978. So these guys are not jokers. They're not new to motorsport. They've been, you know, the Andretti name's been in motorsport for the last 60 years, I mean, one way or another. So they are absolutely, you know, ready for this, and they've shown their commitment to it by hiring people and building a factory for a Formula One team that doesn't exist yet, effectively, you know. So they should absolutely be letting, in my opinion. I think it's a travesty they haven't been. And, you know, I hope Liberty Media, you know, pay for their decisions. If their decisions have been judged to be illegal, they should pay for it. But we'll see what happens. We'll bring you more news on this as it develops here on the F1Chronicle.com. I want to hear your guys' opinions on this as well. Should Liberty Media face legal action for their decision over Andretti? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, keep it subscribed here to the F1Chronicle.com to see much more content just like this.